Now we've been able to create our relationships with no problems and no issues, but what we haven't done is defined and enforced referential integrity. What referential integrity will do is ensure we don't have any spare or orphan records floating around in our data. So if we take the customer's database and have a look again at the relationship, Access was quite happy for us to create that relationship, squash up the ribbon, by dragging the primary key to the foreign key in the correct table. However, if we double click the join to revisit it, there was an option for enforce referential integrity. What that will ensure, if I tick it, is that I can only put sales client ID numbers in here that already exist in the customer's table. So effectively, I can't add a sale to the system unless the customer is already on there. That is logical, and I'm safeguarding my data. So it's really quite an important option. Once you allow the relationship to enforce referential integrity, you then have a couple of other options to add in. Because as well as enforcing referential integrity, ensuring that you only put valid customer ID numbers in here, what it will also do is if you try to delete a customer from here, it won't let that customer be deleted if there are sales data in here, because they will be left orphaned. So you're safeguarding data on both sides using referential integrity. Now there are two extra options to add in. You can use Cascade Update, which means that if the customer's ID number here changes, it will update all the sales client IDs so they still match. That's quite useful. Not really very helpful for us because their CID is an auto number, so it's auto-generated, so it cannot be changed anyway. But if that number wasn't auto-generated, that would be a very useful option. We also have Cascade Delete, which means that if I do delete a customer and they have sales data, it will also delete the customer and its sales data records. That way, not leaving any orphan records in the database. Now, you will find that if you delete a customer and they have some related records, Access will tell you that related records are being deleted as well. So you have that option to then say, oh, no. Personally, I'm going to leave these two off because I can put them on at any point I might need them. But by leaving them off now, it means that I'm not going to inadvertently delete sales data. So that's okay. You'll find the relationship join slightly changes and now get a 1 and a many on it. So that's your indication that referential integrity has been enforced. Now the same with this side. I only want to be able to use countries that are already in the country table. Let's enforce referential integrity. So if I add a new client and they have a different country that I haven't used previously, that country must first be entered into the country table. When I click OK, I have a problem. The relationship must be on the same number of fields with the same data types. Problem is, our country region name is currently still names in the customers table. It's not numbers. So I cannot enforce this join. So at the moment, I have to leave referential integrity off. I can leave the join there, but it's not really going to work because it's now trying to match IDs to the country region name. What I effectively need to do is to go into the customers table and change all of these country region names for their number, then change the data type of that field to a number so that I can link it to a number field. Now in reality, you wouldn't have already built up 18,500 records before deciding to do this relationship. You would do it right at the start of the build. So to do it subsequently can be a little bit of a pain. We'd need to do a find and replace on this whole column for each of the different country regions and then change the data type. Luckily, I've done that for you. If you use the database customers multiple that's in your working folder, bring back our ribbon and have a look in the customers table, you'll find that the country region name is now actually the numeric value. What I haven't done at this stage though is change the data type. So we need to go into design of the table, find that particular field, country region name, and change its data type to a number. You can't change the data type or field of this field. It's part of one or more relationships. So because it's already joined, it won't let me change the data type. So I need to close the table, can't save the changes, go into my relationships, and actually delete this relationship. So I select the line and delete. Ask me if I'm sure. I'm sure. Then we can go back into the customers table, design, country region name, and change that into a number. If I then save the table, as long as I haven't actually left any text values in there, it will change this into a number format. It's saying the size of one or more of these fields has been changed to a shorter size. If data is lost, validation rules may be violated. That's fine. I do want to continue. I've already changed all the names into numbers, so I'm not going to lose any data. I can then save that table and close. I can then remake the join, so it's country ID to country region name. I want to enforce referential integrity, so I can only have IDs of countries that I already have in my countries table, and create. And we see we then get the one-to-many relationship. We also need that on there, so it's enforce referential integrity. And now across my three tables that are joined together, I have enforced referential integrity. So I'm safeguarding the deletion of data and safeguarding the insertion of data, that it matches the relationship joins. So I'm not getting any orphan records or any records without correct countries or any sales without a customer. So the referential integrity is vitally important really for safeguarding your data. Having built the relationships again, I would then save my changes. But remember, that's just to the layout, not to the relationships. The relationships are created the minute you drop across there and click create. And I have in place a multiple relationship database ready for us to start manipulating.